Did I understand you to testify that anti-Semitism is worse under the Trump administration?
Senator, thank you for your question.
You don't have to thank me. Okay. Your best thanks is to answer.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you that anti-Semitism has been rising, especially since the 2017
but has the Trump
Charlottesville
administration caused that? Is that your testimony?
I wouldn't say the Trump administration has caused anti-Semitism. Has there been an increase since Trump has entered office? Yes.
Do you see a causal connection there?
Yes.
Why?
Trump has highlighted and platformed neo-Nazis and white supremacists.
Okay.
Before we get started, make sure you like and subscribe. This channel survives because of you, and if you want honest analysis without the media sugarcoating, you're in the right place. Now let me tell you what went down in this Senate hearing. It was supposed to be about combating anti-Semitism, but what we got was a masterclass in political double talk. First, we had a witness who finally, after being cornered, admitted she believes anti-Semitism increased under Trump. Not because of evidence, not because of hard data, but because she thinks Trump platformed neo-Nazis. That's the tired line we've heard for years, and it still has no grounding in actual policy or outcomes.
Society perspective. How do we do this as a society to actually eradicate anti-Semitism? And I think that is the larger question, rather than isolated on the FBI.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Senator Kennedy.
Thank you all for being here. Ms. Solomon, I want to be sure I understand your testimony. Did I understand you to testify that anti-Semitism is worse under the Trump administration?
Senator, thank you for your question.
You don't have to thank me. Okay. Your best thanks is to answer.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you that anti-Semitism has been rising, especially since the 2017
but has the Trump
Charlottesville
administration caused that? Is that your testimony?
I wouldn't say the Trump administration has caused anti-Semitism. Has there been an increase since Trump has entered office? Yes.
Do you see a causal connection there?
Yes.
Why?
Trump has highlighted and platformed neo-Nazis and white supremacists.
Okay. I can't see that far.
Racklin, you're fine.
Mr. Racklin, I understood you to say that in answer to Senator Durbin's question, the spending reductions, reducing the federal budget would increase anti-Semitism. Isn't that what you said?
No, I did not. I said that the constant threats to cut money to the Office for Civil Rights and the Department of Education prevents the federal government from adequately investigating anti-Semitism and other hate crimes on college campuses.
So you think one way to stop anti-Semitism is to give people more money? Is that right?
I think one of the ways is to actually fund people that are actually designed to investigate anti-Semitism on college campuses.
What's there to investigate? We see it.
We
We
it,
saw
but
it. Did you watch television? Did you see what happened at Columbia?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, it was clear to me that the administration at Columbia and most members of the faculty believed passionately in diversity, equity, inclusion, and the right to hurt Jews. That's what I saw. Isn't that what you saw?
I saw
Isn't that what you saw?
protesters against the war in Gaza and them using some anti-Semitic slogans and thoughts. I would say, however, that it's hard. I would say,
isn't that
however,
what you're telling me?
that
that's not what you saw. Now, don't get off the subject on me now. You're telling me that's not what you saw.
I'm telling you that it is difficult for the federal government to adequately address the issue of anti-Semitism.
Are you telling me the
the
Columbia administration and the faculty was supportive of the Jewish community?
I think that they are
You
trying
need
to
to
find
stop dipping into your ketamine stash.
into what? Excuse me?
Now, if we're going to solve this problem, we need to talk about it. And it wasn't just at Columbia. It was at Berkeley. It was at UCLA. It was at Barnard. And Columbia has a history of discriminating against the Jewish people. They used to refuse to let Jewish students come to their university. Now, you can try to bubble wrap this, but that's what I saw. If you want to stop a lot of the anti-Semitism, maybe we need to stop teaching kids to be anti-Semitic.
Sir, I would relish that opportunity.
Let me ask you a question, Ms. Kohab. Did I say that right?
Kohav.
Do you think it's possible to feel compassion for the Palestinian people without hating Jews?
Absolutely.
Would you elaborate on that? Because it looks to me like many of our Ivy League universities, they weren't the only ones. Some universities handled it well, Vanderbilt, University of Chicago, Tulane. But it looks like the administration was teaching kids you got to pick a side. You either have to hate Jews or you have to be for Hamas. You can't be, there's no middle ground. Tell me what you thought, what you saw. You've written a book about it. Maybe Mr. Rockland ought to read it.
Just because we are testifying, I wrote a chapter in the anthology Young Zionist Voices about what's happening on college campuses, and my book is coming soon, so look out for that.
Good plug, but
So let me answer your question.
Can you feel compassion for the Palestinian people and not hate Jews?
Absolutely. I think that what I've seen on college campuses is a pushing of a Marxist framing of the way that you see the world. And this is not only in liberal studies departments. I've taken dance classes, I've taken creative writing classes, where your final project is literally called The Political is Personal. And what they're teaching you on college campuses is that the political is personal and that everything should be personalized. And there's a global north, a global south, a global right, and a global wrong. And the issue with college campuses and what's happening right now in the United States is that we're allowing ideology to drive violence. A society that says that you can commit violent acts based on your ideology because your ideology is correct is a society that's eroding, and that's what I see on college campuses. Now, you asked if I could feel Palestinian peoplehood, right? If I could feel compassion for the Palestinian people. Absolutely. And every night when I go to bed, yes, I pray for the Jewish people, but I also pray for the Palestinian people, for God to send them leaders that actually care more about their safety. Leaders that put their people's safety in order to propel an ideology at risk aren't leaders. If you look at Hamas, they tout what happened after October 7th up until this day as a victory. How can you lie in rubble after thousands of your people have died and call that a victory? So what I see that has to happen on college campuses is de-radicalization. Until you admit that there's a radical ideology happening on a college campus, you cannot fight it. You cannot fight it.
Senator Ronald, hey, I know there's a lot of strong feelings in here. We all have them. But each member only has 5 minutes, and it just takes time away from their 5 minutes if you really want to get all these facts out. Ms. Hirano.
Then we had another witness claiming that cutting federal budgets somehow makes anti-Semitism worse. According to him, unless the government pours more money into agencies, they just can't figure out what's going on at Columbia or Berkeley. Give me a break. Anyone with a TV could see exactly what was happening. Mobs chanting anti-Semitic slogans, administrators folding like lawn chairs, and professors treating hatred like intellectual expression. You don't need federal investigators to tell you what you're watching with your own eyes. Senator Kennedy, to his credit, refused to let these witnesses wriggle out of the truth. He called out Columbia's long history of discrimination against Jews. He pointed out the modern twist, an academic culture that worships DEI but somehow can't defend Jewish students. And when he pressed the witness, the man suddenly acted offended, as if pointing out reality was somehow inappropriate. Then came a young speaker who finally said something worth listening to. She explained how campuses teach students to see the world through a rigid ideological lens, where everything is about oppressor versus oppressed. It's the same Marxist moral sorting hat they use for every issue. And once you turn politics into religious doctrine, violence becomes acceptable. She called for de-radicalization. Imagine that. Admitting the ideology is the problem. She even had the courage to say she prays for both Jewish and Palestinian civilians, while condemning Hamas for sacrificing its own people. That right there is moral clarity, something universities used to teach before they traded critical thinking for indoctrination. Here's my take. Anti-Semitism isn't rising because of budget cuts or because a politician made the wrong speech. It's rising because our institutions have spent decades teaching students to hate the West, hate America, and hate anyone who doesn't fit into their ideological categories. When you breed resentment, don't be shocked when it explodes. If we want to stop anti-Semitism, stop teaching students that ideology outranks humanity. Stop rewarding radicalism, and start demanding real accountability from universities that have abandoned their mission. If you want more analysis that cuts through the noise, hit like, subscribe, and share this video. America needs voices that aren't afraid to tell the truth.